Ahoy and welcome to this week's video in which I don't do anything or go anywhere. I thought I'd just do a video sort of talking about the trip, talking about what's next, because there's got to be a next, otherwise the channel doesn't exist. And other little things like that. I'm also going to do a sort of little Ask Me Anything where you guys can send your questions in. I'm going to set up a little page on the website that you don't need to be a member to go and click on it, and you can put questions in there, and in a follow-up video I'll go through and I'll answer those questions about the trip or about anything else that you want to ask, stuff like that. No not safe for work ones, nothing like that. But yeah, I thought I'd just take this opportunity now that I'm back to have a bit of a debrief and a look ahead and stuff like that. So one of the main things I get asked about the trip, so I'll start off by saying the video that you saw last week of me arriving back happened in October the 6th, 2024. So it's been several months now that I've been back in Portland. And if you're wondering what I've been doing, not much. Basically just working. I'm working at Portland Marina as a night berth master, so I do 7 on 7 off, 12-hour shifts. And that's what I've been doing, really, just trying to sort of pay my way and do that sort of stuff. So yeah, the trip itself, I think I said in the video last week that it seemed like a bit of an anticlimax, sort of. I was expecting to be like, oh, I've done this great thing and blah blah blah, and it didn't really feel like that. I suppose it's sunk in a little bit more now, but it was just sort of, alright, yeah, done that, so what now? Honestly, by the time I got back, I never wanted to be on a boat again anyway. I parked my boat up, put it into my berth, and it hasn't moved since. It has been winter and it's been grim down here and I've been working, but I haven't taken the boat out. Plus, realistically, I need to sort out the sail drive leg and stuff first, so I'll talk about that in a little bit. Yeah, so the trip. I know that I'm going to go get asked what was my favourite bit and my favourite marina and stuff like that. Favourite marina is difficult. Obviously Portland's my home, so I love it here, but my favourite other marina, it's a toss-up really, because everything offers something slightly different that you might want at a different time, if you know what I mean. I really enjoyed Penarth. The staff there are great. It's a cool little community. It's super handy. It's basically inside a massive man-made freshwater lake at the minute in Cardiff Bay, so you can just take the boat out into Cardiff Bay, go over to Cardiff, park the boat up and like pay and display to go around Cardiff and stuff like that. Bangor in Northern Ireland, I really enjoyed the town and the pubs, and the staff again there are fantastic. The marina's really nice, like even the pontoons are rock solid wood and really cool, so there's that one. Non-boat folk ones, I didn't really go to many, mainly because I couldn't afford it. But I reckon Padstow was really nice. I liked it there. It's quite epic going over the Doom Bar and stuff like that. The little places on the north coast, not really the north coast of Scotland. After Aberdeen, after I came out of the Caledonian, like Lossiemouth and White Hills are just a completely different vibe to the marinas that I'd been in before. They're sort of small working harbours and yeah, really cool little places. In terms of sailing, my favourite bit, I really enjoyed going through Ramsey Sound because that was just epic. Really cool. My favourite actual day of sailing was probably one of the early days. I think after I set off from Brixham, like on the second day, the wind was just right, and it was sunny and it was glorious, and I was sailing with the guys on Queen's Gambit, and that was pretty cool. Was there a better day sailing than that? I don't know. I get a lot of grief about using the engine. I'm going to address this. I hear it all the time in the comments, and like, if you're just going out playing about on a boat, great. If that's what you want to do, brilliant. Pick your weather, pick your day, everything will be hunky-dory. Sail around at whatever speed, because it doesn't really matter, you're just there for the sailing. I needed to get somewhere. I needed to get around here before all the bad weather started and stuff like that, so I could get a job and work through the winter. I could not get stuck somewhere on the East Coast away from anybody that I know and stuff like that. So I couldn't pick my days. All I could pick was that the wind wasn't too much to make it uncomfortable, or the sea state to make it properly uncomfortable or unsafe. I effectively just had to go if the wind was too light or the wrong direction or whatever else. So I'll sit there with the engine on all day. I don't care. It's there to be used. It's not there for looking at. I'm not some kind of... I never really said I was a sailor. I just want to go places. You know what I mean? And if that involves motoring all day, I don't care. It's just another method of going somewhere. So it doesn't bother me. I'm not one of those people that cares about that. So if you're commenting saying, oh, turn the engine off, oh, it's a sailboat, not a motorboat, and blah, blah, blah. If I could afford a motorboat, I'd have a motorboat, because it's a lot easier. And if it's easier for me to run with the engine on, because it powers the autopilot, and I can just have a break, and because I need to get somewhere, I've got a tidal gate I've got to get to, and stuff like that, I'm going to put the engine on. And that'll always be the case, because it's a more sensible thing to do for how I want to operate as a boat user. So, cleared that up. The worst day? I'm probably answering the questions that you guys are going to ask. But I'll probably get asked these ones multiples of times, so it's easier to just sort of get them out there now. The worst day, there were a few. Going from Rue to Adrisheg to get to the Crinan, that was horrible. There was another one on the east coast, I think it was. Was it when I was going to Stonehaven or Eyemouth? I don't recall. I think the title of the video was the worst day so far, so it was that one. Yeah. Getting rescued by the RNLI, that was poo. Well, it was good. It was great to see those guys in action, but it's not good having to get people to give up their personal time and stuff like that to come and help out. But I stand by my decisions around making that call. The weather was due to deteriorate, and it did. It was gusting 48 knots later that afternoon. I'm not risking getting stuck out in the Solent with no engine. So, plus I couldn't sail into Hasler. You're not allowed to sail into there. So that was the best of bad options, really. So I took it. I stand by it. If I was put in that same scenario again, I would make the same decision. So. Yeah, that's that one. In fact, my friend Graham said to me the other day, he says, he's a very, very experienced skipper. He said he's made loads and loads of bad mistakes, bad decisions, and he says it doesn't matter. You can make a terrible, terrible decision, but you've got to know that your next decision's got to be the best decision of your life, because that's the one that's going to get you in trouble. And it's true. You can mess up. Everybody messes up. I messed up loads of times. But what you've got to do is just go, right, I've cocked up. What do I do to fix it? Take a minute, make the right decision on that shout, and all will be well, hopefully. Yeah, that's that. So that was the worst day. Anyway, you'll probably ask me some other things about there, so I'll leave that for the questions. So what I'm going to do is, if you head to the website, thebumblingsailor.co.uk, there will be, I'll probably show it on the screen now, I've not actually created it yet, a button or something somewhere that you can click on and ask me the question. Like I say, you won't need to be a member to do that, that'll be open to the public, so if you do want to become a member, feel free. Yeah, so what's next? Well, I've been working, and my idea was, right, I'll work for 5 months, I'll save some money, I'll get a different boat, something like a Nick 32 or something like that. And I was looking at some, and some were going for like 5-6 grand, and then I was looking and thinking, this is 5-6 grand, but it's another project, and that's going to take up another summer, and I don't have the money to do the project. So sometimes I got stuck into this thing that I advise loads of people against, in that you get a boat and you just keep throwing money at it until you got to make it the perfect boat for everything that you need. It will do anything and go anywhere, but by the time you've done that, you've run out of money, so you can't go anywhere. So sometimes it's best to just go simple, go soon. So I've handed in my notice at work. I finish at the end of May, beginning of June. and hopefully I'll have the boat fixed by then, and I'm just going to set off and head south. Start with France and the Channel Islands, keep going south, make a decision around Brest or something whether I fancy the Bay of Biscay. If I go across the Bay of Biscay, then I'll make a decision when I get to Portugal of whether I go over to the Azores or keep going south, or do the Azores, the Canaries, Cape Verde and across the Atlantic, or whether I just go down to Gibraltar and go into the Med, or I don't know. I'm not making a plan, because one regret that I have about this trip is the time pressure that I put myself under, and I didn't get a chance to enjoy any of it. I barely went ashore because any time I was plugged into electric I was editing videos and all the rest of it, and I just didn't give myself any time to breathe really. So yeah, I'm not making any plans, I'm not committing to anything other than heading generally south, probably in around May or in around June. And yeah, we'll see where this boat will take me. Now I know that these boats have crossed the Atlantic, and I know that they're in the Pacific and all the rest of it. So the boat will do it. And to be fair, this boat hasn't let me down. Apart from the engine not being able to get water, which is a sail drive issue, which is a common issue I've since found out, she has been absolutely perfect to me. She's looked after me. Nothing's broken. Touch wood. Nothing's broken. So like, why go chasing another boat that I don't know just because it's supposed to be better? So I'm not going to do that. So yeah, we're going in the boat we've got. I need to do some modifications. I need to install the batteries that EcoWorthy sent. I need to install the solar panels. I've changed category here. I'm now talking about what needs to be done. What needs to be done? The engine's coming out. Well, the sail drive, I need to do the diaphragm, I need to do the sail drive seals, I want to do the engine mounts, so I'm going to wadge the engine out, do the mounts, take off the sail drive, do the seals and the diaphragm. I should be able to do all that myself. I bought all the parts for it. I just spent like over £1,000 on parts. Freaking boats, man. I bought a True Design through hull, which I am going to skin fitting and through hull, skin fitting and seacock, which I'm going to install in the engine bay and use that as my water source up to the strainer that I put in Shoreham. So the engine will have its own separate water source. I'm really ill. The engine will have its own separate water source, which should solve those issues, touch wood. So I've got to do that. I need to have a look at the keel, make sure that's all sticking together. I'm hesitant to do anything yet and pour any money into the boat until I'm out of the water and can get a look at the keel. But once I've had a look at that, we'll get stuff banged out. I bit the bullet and got Starlink. Because I'm going to have to spend a lot of time at anchor at the end of the day, and there's nothing saying I'll have phone reception, and it is a necessity for me to have access to the internet for the work that I do. So I've basically cancelled a load of other stuff, and because I've cancelled all those things, I've got the money to pay the £96 a month for Starlink, which is in the cockpit at the minute. I'm going to do a little video because I'm redoing all the networking and stuff on the boat. I've got all stuff set up for it. Gonna have wired networking to the Orca and stuff like that. So I'm hoping to get some instruments. I don't have instruments. What I really want is digital yacht systems. Like, it wouldn't be one of my videos if the phone didn't go off. I really want like proper digital yacht systems, NEMA 2000 stuff, but it means spending £2 and I haven't got it. So we'll see. We'll probably just end up going with no instruments. But hey ho, if the boat's tilting over too much, bring some sails in. What else? I thought of something as the phone went off, and it's now gone. I'd really like AIS, but again, cost prohibitive. Self-steering, the tiller pilot has done well. It has worked all the way around and stuff like that, but it uses a lot of power, which if I'm going to be doing longer trips, it'll be like 4 or 5 days to the Azores. I can't reliably get enough power to that because I don't have a lot of batteries or anything, so I think I'm going to buy a Hebridean wind vane self-steering system, which is a sort of self-build kit. Instead of the 5 or 6 grand that it costs to get an Aries or Hydrovane or whatever, it's about 600 quid. So that I can manage. So I'll do a little video of me building that and things. So that'll be that. And then we'll just go and we'll see how far we get. We'll go until we can't go no more. Just push on, I suppose. So yeah, that's the grand plan. See where we get to. Yeah. Was there anything else I needed to tell you? How long has this video been going? Did I even press record? Yes, I did. I don't know where it tells me. This is a new to me camera, so I don't know how long this video is. You'd think it'd be... Oh my god, it's 16 minutes long. I've done a waffle. Right, yeah. That's the plan. So, ask me some questions. I'll try and answer them as best as I can. The plan is... I keep banging the table, which the camera's on. Not professional. Plan is, fix the boat, go somewhere. Boom, done. I could have said that in 30 seconds and not wasted all your time. But hey ho. So, yes. Next week I'll be answering questions. I'll show you the little Starlink setup. I'm going to do a little bit of machining to... I basically found an old pole in a skip. I'm going to modify the top of that with a little thing I've conceptualised. An aluminium plug with a ring thing in it and yada yada yada. Yes. Do that. Do some stuff. Get some stuff done. Tidy the boat because it's a crap hole. I'm glad you can't see anywhere other than here. Need to get an inverter as well. All these little things. I've basically got 2 more wages left before I've got to set off. And in those 2 wages I've got to prepare a boat for the next 2 years of my life, so... screw it, we'll do it, won't we? We shall find a way. So yeah, alright, I will catch up with you next week or something. Sorry nothing happened in this video. It's one of those talky ones. Get your questions in. Goodbye. I should stop doing that. I look like a friggin' idiot. Where's the button on this one?